this is me Nanda. Welcome to Aditya and Nanda Talks. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon to see more and fun videos. So today I am going to tell about the witty tales of Akbar and Birbal. First, let's see how Akbar meets Birbal. In the 16th century, India was ruled by the Muslim emperor Akbar the Great. He was known for his noble character and great wisdom. One day, the emperor went out on a hunt with many of his soldiers. They were so engrossed in the pursuit of the animals that they soon lost their way. The emperor was now exhausted. He desired to take rest, but the soldiers had no idea where they were. They proceeded aimlessly in the hope to find a way back to the palace. As they galloped on their horses, they reached a junction where three paths met. Akbar and his courtiers stood at the cross-section, confused. They did not know which of those paths would lead them to Agra, the capital of Akbar's kingdom. As they stood discussing, a young boy walked past them. One of the courtiers called out to him. The boy came towards the group of hunters. Akbar asked, "Young fellow, tell me which of these three roads goes to Agra?" The boy laughed and said, "How can any of these roads go anywhere? They will remain here. It is the people who will move from one place to another. Or do you think that the roads will move?" Akbar's courtiers are stunned by the young boy's audacity. But Akbar nodded his head and said, "What you say is true." Then he asked the young boy his name. The young fellow replied, "My name is Mahesh Das. And what is your good name, sir?" Akbar smiled and replied, "I am the king of this country, Jalauddin Akbar. I admire your wit and fearlessness. Whenever you need to meet me, come to my court with this." Then Akbar gifted the boy with a ring. It bore the emperor's seal. He continued, "If you bring this along with you, I will not fail to remember you. But now we have to proceed to my palace. So tell me which road we have to take to reach Agra." The young boy pointed out the right road, and Akbar left with his courtiers. A few years later, Mahesh Das, now a young man, set out to Agra. He remembered the promise of the great emperor. He took out the emperor's seal and proceeded to Akbar's palace. Agra, being the capital of the kingdom, showcased the pomp and splendor of the Mughal empire. Mahesh was enchanted by the enchanting sights of the capital city. Mahesh finally reached the huge gates that opened into Akbar's grand palace. He was confident of securing an easy entry with the emperor's present. But as he tried to go in, he was stopped by the sentry at the gate. The sentry was used to all sorts of people trying to get an audience with the king. The sentry brandished his sword in front of Mahesh. and stopped him. He said, "Halt! Do you know where are you going?" Mahesh replied calmly, "I know. I have come here to meet the emperor." The soldier laughed and said, "You think that the emperor has no other work than to meet you?" Mahesh smiled and said, "I do not think so, but I do think the emperor will be willing to meet me. I advise you to let me else or you could lose your head." The soldier was struck by Mahesh's confidence. He said, "What do you say? How can you be so sure that the emperor will meet you?" Mahesh said, "Because of this." He then took out the emperor's seal. The sentry immediately recognized the emperor's seal. Now there was no way that he could deny entry to Mahesh. But stubborn sentry did not want to let him go easily. He thought for some time. Then he said, "Okay, I will allow you to go in, but on one condition." Mahesh asked, "What condition?" The soldier replied, "If emperor meets you, gives you any reward, you should give me half of the reward to me." Mahesh smiled and agreed to the confidential. Then he was let aside inside by the sentry. Mahesh walked into the palatial grounds and entered the court. Mahesh saw the majestic figure of Akbar seated on the throne in the center of the court. He went forward and bowed in front of the emperor. He said, "May your majesty live long." Akbar did not immediately recognize the young man. He said, "Who are you, young man, and why had you come here?" Mahesh replied, "Your Majesty, I have come here obeying your command." He then showed the seal to Akbar. Akbar remembered the occasion and the young boy. He was happy to see him again. He said, "What do you want? Choose anything and I'll promise to fulfill your wish." Mahesh thought for a moment and he remembered the sentry's condition. So he said, "Emperor, I want you to whip me 100 times." Akbar was shocked at the strange desire. Akbar said, "How can I punish you when you have not committed any mistake?" But Mahesh was adamant. He said, "My lord, you have promised to fulfill my desire." Akbar had no option but to stand on his word. Therefore, he ordered his soldiers to beat Mahesh with a whip. Mahesh stood silently as the soldiers whipped him hard. Everyone in the court, including the emperor, was amazed at the spectacle. Then suddenly Mahesh shouted at the soldiers to stop. Akbar said, "You wanted me to be whipped 100 times. Why did you ask them to stop?" Mahesh replied, "Your Majesty, I was not allowed into your court by the guard at the gate. He gave me permission only on the condition that I share with him whatever reward you gave me. Now I had suffered 50 cracks from the whip. It is his turn to share the reward." Listening to him, everyone in the court is amused by this statement. The guard was called to bear the brunt of Akbar's temper. Akbar praised Mahesh wit. He said, "The first time I met you, you impressed me with your wit. I can see that after a few years it has not changed but rather improved. I require a witty and intelligent courtier like you. You have defeated the corrupt in a harmonious and effective way. Henceforth you will stay next to me as an advisor and you will be known as Birbal." Thank you everybody. Bye.